As you guys all know, I'm really tough on Battlefield. I certainly play a lot more than the average player, as I'm now coming up on 800 hours, and once again set my sights on Master Rank for Season 4. But like I said heading into this game, with 2042 being inexcusable, over $400 million being spent on the vanilla development across 4 studios and over 1,000 devs, the game really doesn't have any excuses. Any issue, big or small, especially that impacts gameplay, is worth talking about. And still to this day, there are negative aspects to the game, especially with RedSec, vehicle balance, TTK, and networking. But while I, as a content creator with hundreds of hours, am looking for those issues, I can also accept the reality that a lot that annoys me might not be as big of a deal for your average player. And with that being said, accepting the fact that DICE and Battlefield Studios will always have issues I will continue to bring up, the fact is, if you're a Battlefield fan, especially a casual fan who gave up on the game, now is the time to jump back in. But guys, if you enjoy in-depth reviews and discussions about all things Battlefield, drop a like and hit subscribe, and let's talk about the current state of Battlefield 6. Alright, to kick off my thoughts on the current state of the game, we have to start with Season 4. And thankfully, it continues a narrative I've been pushing since at least early Season 3, which is that Battlefield is being forced to pivot away from the smaller, infantry-focused, Call of Duty-centric gameplay and circle back to true Battlefield experiences. We've gone from maps like Empire State to now Goldmid and soon Wake Island. We've added more gadgets, attachments, and vehicles to the sandbox. And we've left urban combat for more large-scale combined arms warfare. As many of you've seen in this video here, I believe Battlefield 6 released with the intention of replacing Warzone and Call of Duty within the FPS zeitgeist, and they did it by copying the exact formula COD uses. CQB urban combat, snappier movement, and a free-to-play access point via a battle royale, and over time added ranked, cosmetics, and a heavy focus on challenges. And overall, some of that worked really well for the foundation of the game. Battlefield 6 is far more alive than Battlefield 5 or 2042. Yet, while challenges, ever-growing progression systems, and the idea of a ranked playlist with something to chase is exciting, Battlefield 6 initially gave up its core identity in the pursuit of having its cake and eating it too. However, 2 major things happened. First off, they simply made a game that sat between traditional COD and Battlefield, executing on neither to the fullest. They literally paid streamers hundreds of thousands of dollars to play it upon release, and the second something else came out, those very same shills left Battlefield behind. It didn't scratch the itch nor offer everything those sorts of creators look for. The COD fandom and streamer aura quickly dried up because it wasn't perfectly a COD clone, and Battlefield players felt cheated out by their own game. However, while this was bad, the second issue was the real nail in the coffin. While Battlefield 6 released in a much better state than prior titles, it was still too buggy and, more importantly, too slow. RedSec released late and in shambles. RedSec Elite Pro Series was cancelled, Season 2 was immediately delayed, and content was missing the mark badly. Blackwell fields, brutal game-breaking bugs, clear fundamental issues with networking and balance, and core features like a server browser were totally missing. Battlefield had the eyes of the gaming world upon them, and they fumbled big time. Casual players felt ignored, and streamers had moved on as Battlefield spazzed out, ruining their million-dollar tournament and their push into esports. And in hindsight, this was the best thing that could have happened for casual fans. Battlefield had failed. It lost the race to game streamer appeal, it flopped in the eyes of competitive players and content creators, thus it had nowhere to turn except back to its old fanbase. And a few seasons later, the game has hit its highest player count in 5 months, with billions of play hours across its biggest modes. While Season 3 started to test the waters with larger scale classic Battlefield content, Season 4 has gone full all-out war. Attack boats, naval combat, classic weapons, carrier assault, 9 objectives per map, and bright, beautiful Pacific environments. Throw in a Top Gun crossover event, legit F-18 and F-14 fighter jets, expanded sandbox items, and updated physics engines for things like water, and they've really rounded out the game's offerings, though with a much heavier focus on classic multiplayer and old-school fun. Meanwhile, RedSec is still getting some meaningful updates, but it's starting to feel stale, an idea of a dated Battlefield 6 identity. Buggy, scaled back, and a battle royale map that hasn't evolved with the live service. Not to mention the rotting corpse of Gauntlet, the tournament-style competitive game mode that doesn't have a ranked playlist for some fuck-ass reason. The fans spoke, and due to DICE's own failings, failing to deliver on promises to streamers nor get their esports initiative off the ground, they were forced to change direction. And if you're a classic Battlefield fan, or wondering why Battlefield fans are so protective over their franchise, it's high time you jump back on the game. Typically, Battlefield does a free trial weekend at least once a season, and hopefully they do it soon so curious outsiders watching the player counts explode can understand why. And hopefully Battlefield can start to understand something as well. Understand that chasing trends will never work. Their development pipeline is too slow, too buggy, and management is years behind on trends anyway. So instead, they need to make something unique and define their own genre at their own pace. They need to make an experience that's so special and so unique that it stands above the rest of the FPS noise and forces players to look. And while Season 3 was a huge step, Season 4 is finally arriving at true Battlefield nirvana. Is the game perfect? No. But it's looking a lot more like Battlefield. And for myself, Tsuru Reef is the standout cornerstone of the current experience. Perhaps a little hard to find action when you want it, but bright and beautiful with a smooth flow. The new weapons, the EF-88 especially, are all solid and unique additions to the sandbox. Rank's new rewards are welcome as well, especially now that each rank earns a full player cosmetic just like I'd asked for in a prior video. And overall, the game is just bigger and better than before. More vehicles, more fun weapons, a new map with more space, and more exciting content on the horizon. Wake Island, F-18 Hornets, Carrier Assault, the new Heavy Sniper, and later, Proxy Chat. These days, I'm starting to get on the game, not just because of its current state, but because I'm invested into the future of the game as well, and I recommend you do the same. But guys, drop those comments below and let me know how you're feeling about Season 4 so far. And for everything else Battlefield, drop a like and hit subscribe, and as always, thank you guys for watching.